Hi again, everyone. I'm olliemathews. This is Societal Narcissism. And this video is sponsored by contribution from John. John gave a general contribution, which I'm going to use on this video. I did a video 9 years ago. Ray Rice and feminism and the NFL. And for those of you who don't know or didn't see it, Ray Rice was a running back for the Baltimore Ravens back in 2014. There was a video from the elevator with him and his wife. They were both out drinking. They were both drunk. She hit him a couple times. Then she spit on him. He knocked her out. Dragged her out of the elevator. NFL tried to give him a 2-game suspension. The feminists went up in arms. That's not acceptable. Like, this was really the start of the Believe All Women and the Me Too, where it started. And I had done a video because then they had just suspended him indefinitely and the guy never played another game in the NFL. Even though him and his wife stayed married, his wife said, "We're both at fault. I provoked him. I was pushing his buttons until he snapped and he hit me. We're both at fault. Nobody cared." And my point was that, this was going to carry on onto other athletes and outside the athletic world. And what you ended up getting was the Believe All Women. And you start punishing people punishing men with zero due process, ruining their lives, ruining their reputations. Now, I'm also a baseball fan. Trevor Bauer is a pitcher. He was a very good pitcher. Won the Cy Young. Was probably the best pitcher in the league for some amount of time. At least he was up until 2021 when he won the Cy Young. And then some woman comes out and says he beat her, he choked her, he assaulted her, he raped her, and the league kicks him out. They try to suspend him for over 300 games, and that gets reduced to 194 games. He's under investigation out in L.A. County, not some conservative foothold. They can find no charges, nothing to charge him with. Yet the Major League Baseball still suspends him, still won't let him play. The Dodgers release him. Now, I think he's still got some of his money because the contract's a contract. Major League Baseball contracts work a lot differently than NFL contracts, where MLB contracts is guaranteed money. NFL is not. But it got so bad where now Bauer is playing over in Japan where he's loved. And actually, I gained more respect for Bauer because, I like his YouTube channels. He has momentum. He has a Trevor Bauer channel where, he does these other type of games with his friends, and they do this hit tracks thing in the cage, and they make things interesting. They go and try to, like, 4 of them try to go play a whole high school team, or they bring in a girls softball team and they try to get hits off of Bauer, and it's fun. It's a way of expanding baseball, without actually having to watch the games anymore. And it was a nice thing. Plus, the league was pissed off at him for 2 reasons. Bauer, the league was already looking for a reason to screw him over, because he was the first one to expose that the Astros were cheating in 2017, hitting, stealing pitches, stealing catcher signals, and then relaying it through hitting a garbage can, whether there's a breaking ball or a fastball coming. And that's key. If you're not a baseball person, the batter knowing what pitch is coming is so crucial. Is such an unfair disadvantage. And he called that out. So they were pissed off at that and caused that whole scandal. He was the first one to call that out. But the second thing he did was he blew up all the other pitcher spots that they were using something called sticky tack, where they were making their fingers stickier than sticky, And that way, when you throw the ball spins faster because of the resistance off the sticky tack, off the tip of your finger, increasing the spin rate, increasing the movement on the ball, and helping the ball move faster. And more movement, move faster, but it also gave them more control over the ball. So they were pissed at him for that. So they were looking for anything to screw him over with. Okay, and now we get to the believe all women. Believe all women. Well, eventually, and these things will eventually wind their way through the courts, through discovery, through lawsuits, and we get to finally, you get to some semblance of the truth, which is where you're at here. So what we have here is a video of Trevor Bauer released last week of the results of the entire investigation into what happened. This is a text message that his accuser sent to her friend. Body of the text: next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers.
Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. A text Lindsay Hill's...
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't put my headphones on. But otherwise, there's going to be a hell of an echo. Sorry, but I knew I was forgetting something. Alright, so let's back it up so we don't have an echo. Here we go.
Next victim, star pitcher for the Dodgers. A text Lindsay Hill sent to a friend before she ever even met me. What should I steal? She asked another, in reference to visiting my house for the first time. The answer? Take his money. So how might that work? I'm going to his house Wednesday, she said. I already have my hooks in. You know how I roll. Then, after the first time we met, net worth is 51 mil, she said. Bitch, you better secure the bag, was the response.
Could you imagine losing your livelihood, losing your reputation, and this shit is going on behind the scenes? And this information was readily available to the Dodgers, to Major League Baseball. Believe me, the police saw this, the prosecutors saw this. This is why they didn't charge him with anything. There's nothing you can charge him with.
But how is she going to do that? Need daddy to choke me out, she said, being an absolute whore to try to get in on his 51 million, read another text. Then, after the second time we met, former Padres pitcher Jacob Nix told her, you got to get this bag. I'll give you 50,000, Lindsay replied. Her AA's...
And this girl apparently worked for the Padres. She's dealing with Padres players. They're all pissed off at him because he gave up on he gave up their little secret about using sticky tack. And they destroyed his life and his reputation.
Sponsor asked her at one point, do you feel a tiny bit guilty? Not really, she replied. Since then, her legal team has approached me multiple times about coming to a financial settlement. But, as I have done since day one, I refuse to pay her even a single cent. In August...
Could you imagine, after all this coming out, that you're still trying to get money off this guy to make it go away? This is what I'm telling you about lawyers. That the whole legal profession needs to go. There needs to be a loser pays system where that would eliminate 98% of these type of lawsuits.
2021, Lindsay Hill's claims were heard in court, and during those legal proceedings, critical information was deliberately and unlawfully concealed from me and my legal team. Information like this video, which was taken by Lindsay Hill herself the morning after she claimed she was brutally attacked, emotionally traumatized, and desperate to get away from me.
Look at the smirk. Look at the smirk. Look at the smirk and the self-satisfaction. And she gets away with it. Not only is her lawyer still trying to get money off of Bauer, she's not prosecuted for any of this. She's not held accountable for any of this.
Emotionally traumatized and desperate to get away from me. And now we have the metadata, so there can be no dispute. It was taken mere minutes before she left my house on the morning of May 16th, 2021, without my knowledge or consent, of course. In it, you can see her lying in bed next to me while I'm sleeping, smirking at the camera without a care in the world.
And this is why a lot of athletes will only deal with escorts. Because you're not paying for the sex, you're paying for them to leave.
Or any marks on her face. I think it paints a pretty clear picture of what actually happened the evening of May 15th and why the video was originally...
And MLB knew about this, and they still tried to suspended him for 194 games. They tried for 2 full seasons, and it got reduced to 194 games. Nonsense.
...really concealed from us. After hearing the evidence available to her, Judge Diana Gold-Saltman found that Lindsay Hill had misled the court. She found her claims to be materially misleading. She denied her request for a domestic violence restraining order, and she found that no sexual assault or non-consensual conduct took place.
Do you know how little evidence there needs to be for you to get a domestic violence restraining order? And the fact that she couldn't get one in an LA court, and yet the league and the team still did this to him, and society, that this wasn't lead story on national news, that they destroyed this guy's reputation. Thank God for YouTube. Thank God for social media, where he was able to keep some semblance of his name, of his good name going.
Now, some of you might not know about restraining order hearings. I know I didn't, but I've since learned that it's extremely rare for a request for a restraining order to be denied because the standard of proof that you need to obtain one is extremely low.
Exactly.
So you can make it that way.
Especially if you're a woman.
But you will. The fact is, I was never arrested. I was never charged with a crime, and I won the only legal proceeding that took place without my side of the story even being heard. And most importantly, as I've said from day one, I never sexually assaulted Lindsay Hill, or anyone else for that matter. So I sued her, which prompted her to...
Now, apparently, there's feminists. Oh, well, there's 3 or 4 other accusers. Right, where are they? Where are they? Because once you get one, that's when the rest of the gold diggers come out of the fucking woodwork. You don't think that there would have been charges against him if any of those accusations were valid?
Countersue me. Quite frankly, regardless of the outcome in court, I've paid significantly more in legal fees than Lindsay Hill could ever pay me in her entire life.
Right. So just to defend your good name, like Johnny Depp had to spend $6 million to win. To win. Oh, well, that victory only cost me $6 million. What does the average dude do who's got some chick pissed off at him? What do? You're fucked.
And I knew that would be the case going in. But the lawsuit was never about the money for me. It was the only way for me to obtain critical information to clear my name. The discovery process in that lawsuit recently concluded, at which point Lindsay Hill's legal team again came to us with another proposal to resolve the case. This time, however, they weren't seeking any money from me. Having received much of the information that had been hidden from us, a small portion of which I've referenced here, I was willing to agree to the terms proposed. Both parties would drop...
Because he just wants it to go away at this point. He just wants to walk away with some semblance of his good name, which he shouldn't have to do.
...drop their respective lawsuits, and neither of us would pay either side any money. I also retained my right to speak publicly about the case, something I have not been at liberty to do since June of 2021. So, as of today, both lawsuits have been settled. Now, over the last 2 years, I've been forced to defend my integrity and my reputation in a very public setting, but hopefully this is the last time I have to do so, as I'd prefer to just remain focused on doing my job, winning baseball games and entertaining fans around the world. So today, I'm happy to be moving on with my life.
Well, and it's good he gets to move on with his life. But again, no accountability for her, no charges, no full... She should have to go to jail for whatever he would have been prosecuted for. She should be on the hook for lying about it. But you're never going to see that. Oh, because it's a patriarchy. Sure doesn't seem like a patriarchy to me, does it? So disgusting. And then they wonder why guys are walking away from relationships. Guys are walking away from girls. Why these young kids, why young boys are generating towards guys like Andrew Tate, who are telling them to protect themselves, protect their seeds, stop messing with these girls, because they're only going to drag you down at the end. And that's what's going on. And then these women are like, oh, they're no good men, and they don't want... Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why, because you will calculate and you will connive and you will plan behind the scenes to destroy a man for money. And then once one comes out, here come the rest of the fucking gold diggers. It's absolutely horrendous. It's absolutely disgusting. And they nearly destroyed this guy. He's playing over in Japan. He's a fucking Cy Young Award winner. For those of you who don't follow that means you're the best pitcher in the league for that year. Destroyed him. I mean, I hope he sues Major League Baseball. I hope he sues LA. I hope he sues the fucking Dodgers. You know, he dropped the lawsuit against her because what she's got no money. What is he going to get out of her? Trying to sue her is only going to cost him more money. Better to move on with the people who perpetrated this fraud. I would sue the Dodgers. I would sue that pitcher on the Padres. I would sue the pitcher on the Padres because you know he got money if he's pitching for the Padres, that he knew that this was bullshit and sent her there to try to go get I would sue him. I would sue the Padres. I would sue the Dodgers. I would sue Major League Baseball. I would sue Rob Manfred. Her, you got nothing. But until there's a loser pays system in this country, where if you try to pull one of these things, pull one of these lawsuits, and you lose, loser pays. And that puts an end to 98% of this. It's absolutely disgusting. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, John, for the contribution. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype, a phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with either the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email links in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to subscribe to both my channels on Rumble. Follow me on Twitter and Telegram as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.